Hey guys, what's up? Your boy Onyxe back with yet another video, but this one is not about tech, and this time you guys get more techy later this week. Anyway, I just feel like talking to you guys, giving you guys a little update on my life in general, and possibly pick your brains on what you think I should do about this particular situation, which I will explain in a little bit. But however, before I get started, a big shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you for walking with me so long. Thank you. You guys have been a big help. I never imagined getting this far. And despite what some people might think of me, and that's people's opinions on me, I am forever thankful for everybody who genuinely supports my channel. Love you guys from the moon and back. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all your moms. And I hope you guys have a good one. Those who are also moms who are subscribed to my channel, happy Mother's Day to you specifically. Also, before I get started, shout out to Alex Coquito and shout out to Comics the Spirit for always promoting my channel. Love you guys so much. Thank you. As well as my good friend Darnell, better known as ZT Leader. And by the way, please make sure to give my friend Darnell some love on his channel. He makes some really cool content. I'm going to be leaving a link to his channel in this video. It'll be in the description. Anyway, let's get started. So you guys know, I work a lot. I've been working since I'm 16 years old. Well, 15 going on 16. Let's just keep it simple. 16 years old. I am now 32. I'll be turning 33 in August. And recently, I had a conversation with my boss. Since there's no HIPAA laws involved, I'll be using actual names because I'm not talking about customers. I'm talking about people. And I'm not worried about HIPAA laws because that doesn't apply to them. So I work at a pharmacy, a cool pharmacy, by the way, called Healthy Living Pharmacy. And I also work at MetroCare Pharmacy. For those who know me, my very first job was at MetroCare Pharmacy. I started working for Miss Maggie. I just call her Maggie, but just keep it proper, Miss Maggie, since I was 16 years old. And I've been working at MetroCare Pharmacy for years, and I got uncomfortable. I had my ups and downs, but it was my first job, and despite the fact, I've been always the best person, I truly appreciate all the opportunity and how many times Maggie has given me chance to be a better worker and a better person. And I don't tell her this because obviously I don't want to bore her with this kind of crap, but I'm truly appreciative of her. I know I'm not perfect. I know my depression could sometimes be a pain in the ass to deal with. I know sometimes I could be headstrong on certain things, but I'm very humble for the most part, and I appreciate the kindness that has been shown to me by her and the rest of my coworkers there for over the years. Even when I stopped working there due to personal matters I cannot discuss because it involves my family and it's a big thing, and that's not something I want to share, at least not on YouTube. I had to stop working there for a while, and during that time, Maggie helped me get a job with her friend Nancy, who and her sister Miss Sharon ran a pharmacy which Vita helped before they sold it, which was a good pharmacy as well. And I learned a lot working for Nancy and Sharon, and I'm still in contact with Miss Nancy to this day. Very thankful for her, and shout out to her husband who runs a very good dental office called Elements Dental on Steinway Street. And over the years, so after COVID came through, COVID fucked up a lot of things for people, including myself. I lost my job. I was unemployed for the second time because of COVID. But this time around, it wasn't my no family situation. COVID screwed up for me. And man, my depression at that time was terrible. Between me feeling worthless and the fact that it was so hard to get unemployment money during COVID, and I had to pretty much fuck up all my savings. And at one point, I had a good savings, but because I wanted to make sure I kept it with bills, and then when Mitchell to have to carry everything, I was going through my savings like crazy. Thank God my rent back then compared to it is now was much lower delivered Mitchell. Now I would never have survived. I had to move back in with my mom and my grandmother had COVID came through now. But back then my rent was very good for someone who lived in New York. So yeah, I screwed up my savings, but at least was able to help Mitchell out. So I go back to work, and I finally, by that time though, I'm not happy at the dental office no more. I'm ready to move on, and I land a job at another pharmacy, of course, me and pharmacies. Healthy Living. Back then, Healthy Living was owned by a good gentleman, Mr. Barry, who's like a father figure to me, Miss Ella, and Mr. Ray. And they ran it for years. However, unfortunately, something else I cannot discuss because now this is considered personal and I cannot share this information. And it's not me because I'm trying to keep you guys in the dark. It's just because involves me. It involves someone else. So I don't feel comfortable disclosing that kind of information about someone else's problems. But unfortunately, Mr. Berry's health wasn't the best, and Miss Ella had things going on in her personal life, and Mr. Wade pretty much already retired by then. So with none of them willing to be able to maintain the pharmacy, they sold it to my current employer, John. Now, before I get started with John, I want to clarify now, before the wrong person sees it and trying to say I said something vicious. I don't dislike John. I honestly have no ill will towards him. I think John is a very smart businessman. He's 2 years younger than me, which I'm surprised. He's a very smart businessman. But there are other things about John that my spirit just hasn't been willing to click with properly. And I'm trying to find the right way to say this without sounding like a piece of shit. I think it'd be best, if me and him were like, I wasn't working with him much anymore. But I'm going to get to the real reason I'm still working with him now. So John takes over. I talked to John. John, very nice, gives me additional dollar raise to what Mr. Berry had given me before he left. Grateful. I worked there, I'm around there for a little bit. But for some reason, I don't even know, it's not like depression, because funny, when I'm doing everything else, when I'm with Mr. Nathaniel, when I'm with Maggie, or I'm handling other things, my depression doesn't really bother me so much. Like, regardless, even if I forgot to take citrulline that day, my depression ain't fuck with me. But for some reason, when I'm working at Healthy Living, I feel sad. I feel tired. I feel easily irritated. And I don't have no issue with none of the staff. The new ladies we have at the store, personally speaking, they're lovely ladies. I like them a lot. I think they're great people, and I think they're really good for the pharmacy. And I hope customers will give them a chance. Because another thing I can say here, because I'm not giving no specific names, but ever since a lot of customers realized that Ella and Barry are no longer wanting the show, a lot of them have came to me personally, told me that they don't want to be bothered with this pharmacy no more. I don't speak about Healthy Living. And you hear these kind of things. And I'm not going to, this between me and the customer. I'm not giving names, obviously, not just for HIPAA laws, because I respect people's privacy, telling me something in private, in confidence, and I don't like to ruin that trust. If you got between me and I believe vibing with John the way I was hoping to vibe with him, and that goes to his brother Andy as well. Andy's a nice guy as well, but also not really feeling Andy like that. No hatred, nice guys as well. And I hope Andy's, when he does go meet his fiance in Florida, they have a beautiful wedding and everything. So like I said, I don't hate nobody, but I'm just realizing I feel alone, which, I feel alone even with people who I consider my good friends. I'm not really feeling Healthy Living Pharmacy the way I was feeling it before when Ella and Barry were in the show. And now that majority of my coworkers are gone, Miss Pilar, Miss Pari, Catherine's on maternity leave, and I'm not sure she might want to come back. And I just don't want to be the only person who's there left. So I'm like, I want to go too. I don't want to be here no more. And I got lucky because when I was explaining my situation to Maggie, she was looking for a part-timer. So I'm like, you know what? This is great. And Maggie gave me great hours. It's part-time. She gave me great hours, and she's paying me really well as well when I got back to MetroCare Pharmacy. And I'm like, well, between Maggie paying me really well, Mrs. Thane, when I help her, Mrs. Thane's always forgive my speech impediment, generous to me with payment. I'm like, that's enough for me for now until Maggie either give me more hours or, a better opportunity will come along. But overall, I'm happy to be back at my old job. I'm not crazy about doing lotto, but thank God I can do it properly. And it's not the end of the world. And since people who play the numbers for the most part are pretty cool ass people, I have no problem with playing lotto again. And I just like that overall environment. I'm around people I've known since I was in my early 20s. Because majority of the workers who were there when I had to leave are still there now. And the new workers who are there are fantastic. I think they're great as well. So I feel very much at home at MetroCare Pharmacy. Whereas at Healthy Living Pharmacy, I feel like a stranger. And when me and John had a week to talk. John, when I told John I wanted to leave, he didn't take the news well. Like, in my personal opinion, I honestly didn't think he would give a fuck. I just thought, like, okay, peace out, cool, bye. I really didn't think John would give a wax ass that I wanted to leave. I'm like, cool, on to the next. But he kind of seemed like, oh, he was like, I was like hurting him personally. And I tell John, like, John, I mean, he like, honestly, what can I do to make things easier? I'm like, John, you're not my dad, you're not my husband. It isn't your job to worry about me, as long as you're focused on the store. And speaking on healthy living pharmacy, and this is something I think I can speak about. Business has been pretty slow. Things haven't really been selling like that. Between Walgreens being around the corner for us, as I discussed in previous videos, it's just like, I don't feel confident about the store's survivability. And last thing I'm going to do is be part of a store that, that isn't going to make it. Metric Care Pharmacy has been around for nearly half my life. That cannot be the same thing for healthy living. And John took over the store in mid-April, and we're in May, and I haven't just been really feeling comfortable. So I've always been making moves, because you're supposed to make moves. I feel like an adult. Don't ever stay at a place where you're not happy and you don't feel comfortable working there. Never. I feel like that's one thing I will drill to any person, young or old. Do what's best for you always. Because the funny thing is, you're told out of decency to give your employer 2 weeks. Meanwhile, people don't get fired in 2 weeks. If an employer decides to fire someone, they fire them in the snap of a finger. So I don't know. I always thought the funny is you got to give your employer courtesy of 2 weeks. Yeah. But God forbid you were a shitty worker, whether you deserved it or not, whether you were trying your best, whatever. If you're not meeting your employer's standards, they get rid of you in the snap of a finger. So I had this conversation with John. John didn't take the news. He asked me, no, honestly, he didn't fire me, which I was still blowing my mind. Like, why the hell? Like, dude, you could do better than me. I don't think I'm that essential to the store that you need me like that. Because I want to give Maggie more hours. And plus, I'll have more freedom because Maggie only needs me about 4 days a week. I'm not even touching weekends with Maggie. So I'm like, cool. That means I bust my ass during the weekdays, and on weekends, I can sleep, scratch my balls, go see my mom, whatever. Just do me. Work on Forbidden, work on more gaming content, because I also am a YouTuber, obviously. I don't get shit from YouTube other than the fulfillment until I get enough subscribers and YouTube start paying me something. But overall, I'm like, John, maybe it's not even on some low self-esteem shit. It's on me thinking, I'm not the bomb diggity. There's always someone else who could fill in your shoes. I love myself for the most part when my depression isn't beating my ass, but I'm not thinking I'm all that in a bag of chips either. But he didn't want to let me go. He said, honest, I need you on for weekends. I'm like, I agreed to it. And I'm going to discuss with Maggie when I see her again next week, to see what we could do about it, because maybe I'll try to give John one more day. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know what he sees in me that he feel like he needs me so much. And I feel bad. Normally speaking, I just want to be like, you know what? I'm done. Here's my 2 weeks. Gone. But he asked God, please stay on. I'm like, you know what? Do I need the money? No. But is it extra money for bills, for commissions? You know what? Yeah. May I can save for a new cell phone, because my main cell phone, that screen is so fucked. But buying cell phones nowadays is like paying rent. And I don't dislike John. I think John is a cool person. I know he's a very loving dad to his son. And I think those are qualities I like in a person. I think he's a good person, but I don't think I'm the right person for him. And I just wish he didn't seem attached to me the way he does. And another thing is, which I'm not going to say on here, because it's a little more private, it's like kind of my more darker thoughts. But with John, I get a weird mixed emotions, both little positive and negative. And for me to avoid said emotions, I also thought it was a good thing for me just to not be around him. Because it's like something I don't want to do nothing that I'm going to regret in the long run. And I don't want to say nothing I'm going to regret in the long run. And I don't want like all the weird things that go through my head sometimes when I'm around John to the intrusive thoughts to kind of kick through and I do something dumb and I'm embarrassed. But overall, I just don't know why. And like, part of me thinking, should I just been a dickhead? So I'm like, nah, here's my 2 weeks. I'm not bothered with the store. I'm done. I'm cutting the store off completely. Or should I try my best to continue helping John and hopefully he'll find someone who can do as well as me and then I'll just go away. But I want to get that off my chest and just share with you guys the stuff that's been on my brain for a hot minute. Also, you can leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know, guys, what you guys think. Certain things I will not answer because it's a little bit too private, but for the most part, I want to be an open book. Anyways, I gotta go do my laundry today. Happy Mother's Day once again. And thank you to everybody who supported my channel. Love you guys from the moving in the back. Peace, take care, honest play out. Ciao.